A very good evening to all the participants, ladies and gentlemen. We are blessed today to have none other than Daji joining us for this 128th leadership conversation. And I request all of you to join me in welcoming Daji to this event. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sudhagar Garu and Prasad Garu. Thank you.
We are quite delighted and blessed to have you with us for this amazing conversation that it promises to be. And at the same time, we feel really blessed to be in the same frame as yours. Sir, I will quickly go to introductions and then hand it over back to you for your opening remarks. And we are all ears waiting for quite some time actually to hear from you and learn from you. Allow me to share my screen, please. As I mentioned, these are Wise Views Leadership Conversations, which we host every Friday. And for the last 127 weeks, we have been having great sessions of learnings provided by distinguished individuals, leaders who have influenced many individuals across domains. This is 128th, and you have seen the promise of this conversation as well. Daji will be speaking about influence positively, meditation for transformational leadership. And very quickly, I will do this. This agenda is very simple. After this introduction, Daji will be spending about 20 minutes to set the context and the construct of meditation. And there'll be Q&A followed by that. Everything will be wrapped up in about 60 minutes from now. May I have the privilege of introducing Daji. Dr. Kamlesh D. Patel is the founder of the Heartfulness Institute. He embodies the heart and soul of a compassionate leader in today's turbulent times and is known to the world as the silent changemaker and is affectionately called as Daji. With his quiet, self-effacing demeanor, has fostered a noble mission of guiding humanity through the challenges it faces. From the growing erosion of family structures to the global environmental crisis as we see it today. With an unwavering vision, he works tirelessly to reintegrate every heart and by extension, the entire world towards a collective state of joy, contentment, and inner peace that eventually brings us all together. Daji was born in Gujarat in 1956. He displayed an early interest in meditation and spirituality. He started Heartfulness meditation at the age of 19 while studying to be a pharmacist. After graduating with honors from LM College of Pharmacy in Ahmedabad, Daji married and moved to New York City. There he and his wife raised their two sons, and while he steadily built a successful multi-million-dollar pharmacy business, at the same time, Daji continued to pursue his love of meditation as an ardent student of spirituality until he took over the reins of the global guide and master of heartfulness movement in 2014. Central to Daji's impact is his ability to make people feel deeply inspired and optimistic about a better future. As Maya Angelou beautifully put it, people will never forget how you made them feel. Daji's gentle approach touches every heart he encounters, leaving an indelible mark. His dedication extends to the construction of the world's largest meditation center at Kanha Shantivanam, here right in Hyderabad, spanning over 1,400 acres and accommodating more than 1 lakh people in its grand meditation hall. It's called the Pride of Telangana. This center serves as the ultimate stop of profound experiences for those aspiring to enhance themselves in all aspects of life. There are several achievements. Notable few are like this. Daji's vision extends beyond the individual heart as he endeavors to make spirituality a constant presence in our collective consciousness. Under his leadership, Heartfulness has introduced the Heartfulness app, allowing anyone with a phone to experience yogic transmission through meditation anytime and anywhere, all for free. With a dedicated team of over 15,000 meditation trainers, Daji's efforts have already touched the lives of over 4 million individuals worldwide. Furthermore, he passionately endorses actively participating in healing the earth and has contributed immensely with Forests by Heartfulness initiative by planting over 1 million trees and striving to reach a remarkable goal of 30 million trees in India by 2025. Daji has also pioneered the Heartfulness Education Trust, which empowers a new generation with holistic education based on heart-centered meditation and a holistic lifestyle. Through the practice of heartfulness meditation, Daji is a recipient of the prestigious Padma Bhushan, international best-selling author of several books that he has silently and profoundly transformed lives of millions across the globe. We are so touched and blessed to have you with us, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll take just one moment to introduce my esteemed colleague. He's a senior director of academic wing at the ICFI Group. He has 3 decades of rich experience as an entrepreneur in the beginning, and then as a corporate leader, and now as an academic at ICFI. He holds BTech from the prestigious IIT Mumbai and holds PGDM from yet another prestigious institution, IIM Kolkata. He published books, presented papers, and also written many research articles across. Thank you, Professor Prasad, for joining, and I will now stop sharing my screen. With this introduction, I request Daji to take us through what meditation is all about and also enlighten us about how heartfulness meditation can be transformational and help us being the leaders that we deserve to be. Over to you, Daji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhakar Rao Garu and Prasad Rao Garu. Thank you. Before we begin, I would love to help you experience what meditation is all about at Heartfulness Institute. We have heard words so many times, but how to arrive at a meditative state? It keeps eluding even the greatest of yogis and greatest of saints. When we do go through books of Swami Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramahansa or Yogananda and many such elite sages of India and abroad, almost all, I would say with 100% authority, that they have practiced meditation at some point or the other. And without that, I doubt if they could have become what they became and what they represent to us today. Yet, the knowledge, the understanding of meditation, none of us have in a real sense. You are all dealing with finance, accounts, and so many things, right? You are also meditating in some way because the definition of meditation is to focus your mind on some object. Your object is numbers, right? The businessman's, the money. Romantic fellow at a very young age, perhaps, it's all about romance. Students, how to score well. Parents, how to raise children well, how to have a balanced life, struggling with day-to-day existence. We are all somehow having our focus on, depending upon who is focusing on what, that becomes a meditation also if you think over it in a very technical way, definition-wise. But India, our sages have defined meditation as something which helps us transcend our mind itself. So focusing the mind is not meditation in reality, because focusing involves the use of the mind, while the dhyana, according to Sanskrit definition, it's all about transcending the mind itself. And I'll help you go through that aspect of meditation with the help of transmission. And you can all download this app, which Dr. Sudhakar Rao had just mentioned to you, Heartfulness app, either Google or if you have Apple phone, you can download this app, and anytime you use this, all for free. So without any ado, let's all begin meditate and experience what this meditation is all about. There are many other complementary practices which complements with this meditation because they are all supporting various aspects of our existence, and we got to practice it as a complete package rather than just one selected practical approach to spirituality. So let's all gently close our eyes for a few minutes and kindly follow the steps. I'll walk you through this meditation. Gently, having closed the eyes, focus your attention towards the feet and imagine that the healing energy from Mother Earth is entering your system through feet and helping you relax. Permit this healing energy from Mother Earth to rise above to your ankles, lower legs, your calf muscles, and knees. Permit this healing energy to move up to your thigh area, the hip area, and the lower back. Permit this energy to rise above your upper back and help it relax. Now, please permit this energy to move in the front, your abdominal area. Help it relax. Now, your chest area. Allow this energy from Mother Earth to enter your shoulders. Feel them becoming lighter and almost melting away. Allow this healing energy from Mother Earth to descend in your arms, your biceps, your elbow, your lower arms, hands. Now your neck muscles. Let it produce relaxing effect in your lower jaws, your lips, your entire face, including your nose, your eyelids and eyebrows, your forehead, earlobes. Now top of your head. Please scan your system from top to toe. If any part of your body is sick or stressed, you can revisit and touch it with your right hand or left hand and help it heal. You can use the same method in its reverse order if you want to sleep very fast and want to go deeper in your sleep. This is for when you are not able to sleep. Now we'll start with meditation. Please pay attention towards your heart. And make a suggestion that there is presence of the source of divine light in my heart. The source of divine light in my heart. Thoughts would scatter your mind here and there, but whenever you become aware that your thoughts are gone here and there, gently, very gently remind yourself that I'm meditating on the presence of the source of divine light. So maintain this idea and be receptive to this pranahuti, the transmission that I'm going to share with you. This will take about 10 minutes or so. That's all. बस कीजिए. I have intentionally shortchanged you all on time of meditation. Generally, we do for half hour minimum. So, for those who like to go deeper with this meditation, can download the app, Heartfulness app, and meditate. Just follow the steps mentioned on the app. Someone will work with you in real time. If you are meditating, let's see, at night you cannot sleep, and suddenly you realize at 2 o'clock in the morning, I need to sleep and I need to meditate. Make meditation a recharging or rejuvenating kind of a phenomena. Then what you do is just use this app. Somebody somewhere in other foreign countries would be awake. Europe will be evening. In United States, it will be, late afternoon and things like that. Someone there who is a trainer will connect with you and help you go through this meditation and help you also rest and find peace within yourself. Your programs are Wise Leadership Program, right? Wise Views webinars. And the topic is generally on making leaders out of you all. What strikes me the most are these words. How does one become wiser? Or when does the wisdom dawn on us? It is not an overnight process. It's a journey of continuous improvement. Let me explain. Whenever there is a transformation, please. Whenever there is a transformation from your old state of mind to the new state of mind, you want to improve yourself. That means you have to let go of your old state of habits. And the problem starts there. Transformation or transforming oneself from the old habits to the new, from weakness to strength, though it is beneficial to all of us, we somehow resist. We don't want to get out of that comfort zone. So we have to have very strong intentions and choices. Choices because at every juncture in life, whenever we are at the crossroad, and our conscious mind asks, and we often get confused whether this is right or this is wrong. Should I pursue this or should I pursue that? Or the third option, keep quiet, pause, and do nothing. Right? So there are only three situations. And there we get confused because I like this, I don't like that. Right? And then we ask others also in the process, and they also add a lot of confusion to it. Top it all, we get distracted by our petty desires, sometimes a lot of ego involved with that, making decisions. Whenever you have to make a decision, for example, talking with your spouse and say, let's plan our tour. We are going on a vacation. You like to go somewhere, he or she likes to go somewhere, and there's an ego tussle also. Who is going to win? And you say, oh, I have a prejudice against this place. So all this, I think they play out and create havoc. So what we are trying to understand is the understanding of the situation first. Second thing, allow your desires and ego to subdue a bit and forget your prejudices for at least temporarily. that will demand something from us to go within ourselves, study the situation, understand the situation, and let your ego or arrogance take a back seat. Often this question arises, should I follow my mind or should I follow my heart? Which comes as a priority in my life? And how to listen to the heart, because mind always guides us too. We are well trained through education to follow the mind. We analyze things. We are all, or most of you are financial analysts, analyzing. So life situations also can be analyzed. And then see how one can make a right decision. Reflect on the decisions that we have made, where we have gone wrong and hurt ourselves and our own company because of the wrong decisions. Now, study behind now that how and why did you make those decisions? What was your mind saying at that time and what was your heart saying at that time? And I would say 99.99% of the time you will know that your heart had always warned you, don't do this. Always. But whenever you have been successful in your decisions, have you thought that you were guided by the heart? Heart never speaks loudly, do this. Heart always speaks loudly when you are going wrong. Always. And whenever you are about to do the wrong thing, I say about to do the wrong thing, heart again speaks louder and tries to prevent us from doing the wrong thing. For example, if I ask Prasad Garu, what is your name? And he ends up telling me his name is Sudhakar, his heartbeat will miss few bits at that time. Oh, why did I say I am Sudhakar? Or when you think of a teenager period of your life and you are coming home and your mommy asks, Bete, where were you? You're at 1 o'clock in the morning. And you end up nicely saying, oh, mommy, we were studying. We were doing homework with my friends, but actually you were somewhere else. Listen to your heart. What happened to your heart when you are lying to your mother? It becomes heavier. You have some sort of remorse also at that time. But when you speak the truth, heart doesn't give any signal. Whenever you have to do the right thing, heart doesn't give any signal. Whenever we have some natural things happening on its own, heart never gives any signal. Heart always speaks loudly whenever something is going wrong. Let me reiterate the whole situation through a different example. When you are seeing things, when you are listening things, and when they are in proper order, we don't congratulate our eyes and say, congratulations, you're seeing well, or you're hearing well. We never congratulate our ears and eyes. We don't need to. It's happening as it should happen. But the day you have some blurry vision or you're missing some words your spouse is sharing with you, then you better start worrying. And the heart always gives the signal, something is wrong, time to visit a professional. You need help. So anytime anything is going unnatural, heart always speaks. So to be wiser to me is to pick up these signals, the signals of what is right, what is wrong. Now, when we talk of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals by United Nations, there are 18, 19, I don't know how many are the numbers, but they are all about water pollution, land pollution, air pollution, giving residences, priorities to the disabled ones, and all the social causes. And when we wonder that how to fulfill all these SDGs with one goal, in Hindi they say, Ek saade, sab saade, sab jai. Solve one problem in such a way that all problems get solved. Then my mind speaks of one thing, that the cause of most of these problems related in the world, be it air pollution caused by an industrialist, the root cause is greed. Land pollution, root cause, greed. And why all these things are being hijacked? Because of the one pollution that we all have, thought pollution. Meditation is one way of removing this inner thought pollution. Now, one would also further think that what is it that spoils my thoughts? Why am I thinking in this direction and not thinking in the right direction? For example, when Duryodhana says to Krishna, I know I'm bad. I can't help myself. I know I'm thinking wrong. I can't help myself. He says, Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is right. I cannot follow it. I know what is wrong also, but I cannot follow it. Most of us are also fully cognizant of this fact of right and wrong. But how to take a next step of following what is right and abandoning what is wrong? Clarity and thorough understanding of the situation. And one should study, what price will I pay if I do this wrong? One has to understand the consequences ahead of time. My father used to say, there are various kinds of people. A person, there is one type of, one category of person is even when they commit a mistake, they don't realize they have made a mistake. And if they do realize also, they will not accept that it was a mistake. There's a second category of individuals who, while making mistake, they become aware. And either they correct the situation or continue on that trajectory, unfortunately. The third category of people, and he said, my son, I would like you to be of that category, that before you do anything, chart out your trajectory. See in which direction you're going. Is it right or wrong? Beforehand, you should know the consequences of your actions. Actions are the results of thoughts, and thoughts are the results of our attitudes, and attitudes are the product of our samskaras. So, if we regulate our samskars, fine-tune our samskars, it will fine-tune our attitude, it will fine-tune our, as a result, the thoughts, and as a result, our actions. And if the right action is done, you know for a fact, it will have the right result. Wrong action cannot have the rightful result. So the root of all these things is your planning. And all these steps are well understood, well refined, well tuned during meditation. Meditation is, even if you don't believe in God, it's okay. Just taking a backseat, pause, and reflect. That itself will reduce so much of trouble. And when we adopt this heartfulness way of meditation, just few minutes in the morning, and there's a different practice we also recommend, that is all about rejuvenating yourself at the end of the day when you come back home. Because you don't want to interact with your family members with a polluted manas. polluted vibrations that you carry from your office. It's like, when you go to a gym and you return home stinking, smelling with a lot of sweat. You try to hug your spouse or your mom, their mother will tell you, please go take a bath first and then come near me. Because you will be like a walking sewage tank at that time. Though when we come back home with certain level of vibrations after attending the office, we remain unconscious of the baggage we carry. We all have experienced this thing. When we use some perfume, after shower, you use perfume or after shave or whatever. After about 30, 40 minutes, you don't even know which perfume you have. Only the other person will tell you who has come in touch with you for a short while. By the evening, you will not know it, though there is some fragrance left because you get used to it. Right? We also get used to this nonsense, the garbage we carry with us. That has to be removed. Free our subconscious so that conscious becomes fully free and more energetic. Once we break the bonds from the bad, so much of energy will be released in your mental realm, in your dimension related to thoughts, intellect, and consciousness. Yoga, after all, is a way of life that improves and helps us focus our mind in a right direction. Well, meditation also, I would say, if you want to make use of it in a wrong direction, it can also be utilized. You must have seen many murder cases, murder mysteries, where, in the court, judge says, was this premeditated murder? Meaning well planned. Meditation in that way also, it's well planned, well thought, well executed. So my Guruji, he used to say that unless your heart and intentions are clear, pure, even the meditation can destroy you. You can become a perfect murderer if your intentions are not clear. Think of Ravana. His intentions, though he had a lot of energy, he had a lot of yogic powers, but in the end, because of his intentions, he destroyed himself. So is that wiser to awaken the Kundalini? It's not wiser. So we have to play with the power, be it spiritual or be it materialistic. It has to be used in a dharmic way, in a righteous way. Then we all can become wiser. I think that's all. I think we have gone much more. I will go ahead now with your program further with questions from Sudhakar Rao Garu.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for this little bit of introduction, a taste of the things to come from the world of meditation. And I'm sure there are many more things that we need to learn, understand, and practice as far as heartfulness meditation is concerned. But this exercise of a 10-minute meditation that you have helped us go through, and the subsequent explanation of the construct of meditation itself in our life has been so profound, especially with the delivery that is packed in with the healing power. I think it's going very, very nicely into all of us. I'm sure everyone around the screen is enjoying the way I am actually enjoying it and consuming it so well. It is truly transcendental. It is already happening if we can experience that. Amazing. I don't want to actually evaluate the burden of analyzing, evaluating, summarizing. I will suspend today. I will actually just enjoy it moment by moment grasp it as much as I can. And I wish the same for all the members around the screen to do so. Uh, I will request Daji to also understand that we have some very good distinguished leaders who have joined today, sir. We
Oh,
have people
lovely.
we have people coming from all parts of the country, a couple of them from abroad, one from USA, leaders from media, leaders from technology, leaders from education, leaders from banking sector, and
Wow.
many others have joined, and I'm sure they're all just glued, just enjoyed, engrossed in your talk. Without wasting much time, I'll now request Professor Prasad to come in to open the cluster number one, and and I request all the members in the audience to have some patience, wait for cluster number two when I'll open the mic for you to talk to Daji directly. So, but till then, let's finish the cluster number one. Over to you, Professor Prasad. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rao. Thank you, Daji, for introducing us to meditation. I think the experience of the 10 minutes is a taste for all those who have gone through the exercise. Our gratitude for that. Secondly, I think your introduction in a way has answered a number of questions at a very root level. And so, nevertheless, some of these questions, given the limited time, I will do present so that it can be delved on a little further and built upon for the benefit of the person who has asked the question. These are very fundamental questions that I will first give priority to. Sir, we are all human beings, the God's highest creations. And the supreme, the light, which is there, which is brought to our heart, there is no hatred in that. Then how is that as human beings, we have got into territories, got into sanskaras, and now require to install the same light in us?
I also had the similar question. And that actually prompted me to speak spirituality, to get the final answer on the subject, that how from the purest state we have degraded to what we are today. From the highest level that we enjoyed as a fresh, new, purest soul to what we are today. When I posed this question to my Guruji, he said, though there was purity, the soul was without any samskars in the beginning. There was individuality in each soul. This individuality created egoism. Mine, me, mine, myself. That separated us from rest of the godly kingdom, and we started fomenting new levels of consciousness. Now, the science talks about entropy. One wonders that how this universe is not collapsing. Who is providing this sustenance and preventing it from entropy? Entropy, for those who are not familiar with this in a real sense, entropy is a measure of disintegration, destruction, or destabilization. In the finance world, or in corporate world, or in our individual life, or in a family life, or even for children, where we give them a room and say, my son or my daughter, this is your room, and we keep giving them gifts of books, gifts of toys, gifts of music, gifts of clothes. And children, they are supposed to organize them. They put clothes at the right place, tapes at the right place, toys at the right place. After taking shower, they throw their socks around, underwears around, clothes around, and poor mother has to fix that thing. Now, if she was not doing it, somebody else will do it if the family is wealthy. Some Maids would come and fix. Someone has to do it. Some input is required to organize things. Without this energy input, the system will collapse. We have not been putting inputs at all. We are not even paying attention the way we are degrading as far as thoughts are concerned. And because thoughts are not regulated, our actions are also not soothing and well planned, and the results will be chaotic. So there is no conscious effort on our part in regulating things that we are doing. There is no pre-planning. There is no energy investment from our side in maintaining that purity, maintaining that simplicity, maintaining that naturalness that we all have. So it's a lack of input from our side. Even paying slight attention can change the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Daji.
Thank you.
A very intense response. I also remember. I mean, I also recollecting that the deities themselves do this and are seen doing this for more time than the other things that they do.
Yeah. Well, you see, when you have broader aspects of deities, Lord Krishna in Gita says, I am never free even from 1 minute. If I move myself away from this worldly or the issues related to the universe, even for 1 minute, the whole universe will collapse. So it shows that somebody has to put some input to maintain. And now when you talk of Lord Shiva, we Hindus are very fond of Lord Shiva and Vishnu. No one is fond of Brahma. Have you noticed? Have you seen Brahma temple anywhere? You'll see Lord Shiva's temples everywhere, Vishnu's temples everywhere, but Brahma maybe 1 or 2. Why? Because we are so selfish. Creation has been done, period. He did his job. Now why should I bother with him? I need to approach Vishnu for maintenance, and I have to approach Shiva for maintenance also, or so that he can be very compassionate at the moment of death, because it's a lot of destruction. And if you see Vishnu or Lord Krishna or Lord Rama or Hanumanji, or you talk of Shiva on Kailas, how do you visualize Lord Shiva? Mythology, if you bring in mythology in this leadership program, just visualize that photo. He's seated there. He's in a meditative posture. There is a cobra or naga around his neck. These are all symbolic things, telling that even gods and goddesses, they meditate. And the next question would arise, why do they need to meditate? And upon whom are they meditating? What is their goal in life? I think we don't have answers, but we have to ask ourselves that question.
Gratitude, Daji, for having responded to that. I thought I would ask the second question, but I think I'll give it back to Professor Rao for questions from the audience.
As I'm consuming Daji, these are direct imperatives for leadership. Every moment that you have explained a concept, made it simpler for us, I have noted down that it is a direct leadership imperative. For example, conscious decision making, energy input, intervention at the right time, listening to your heart. These are all in different words and different jargon used for us to train leaders. And I'm sure by practice, some of them pick up. awareness itself has not helped us in its entirety. With awareness, we need to couple the power of the intent, power of the intention. And that power of intention has to be in the right direction. What more or what bigger definition we need today? I think it is a redefining moment for leadership. And I must be very, very grateful to you that you have defined what is wisdom and what is wise views. I think after 128 sessions, we have brought someone like you who can define for us what is wisdom is. So it is so direct and so relevant for all of us. I will take one question, Raji, and after that, the people who are raising hands, I will go to them. And that question is, uh, what are the steps to develop openness in the heart? Of course, our heart has to be involved in this heartfulness process. What is the best way to develop openness? And of course, thereby this, what is the best way to maintain mental peace? That's one question from one of the members in the audience.
I will start with quotation from Lord Krishna. He says, Asantasya kutah sukham. One who is not at peace, how can he derive happiness? Happiness is sought by everything. Every living being seeks happiness without any exception. Be it an ant or a monkey or a donkey or a bird or human beings. Everyone seeks some sort of happiness. Happiness is possible. Is it possible when you are not at peace? And is peace possible in the lack of harmony? Is harmony possible without contemplative, focused mind? Is focused mind possible without meditation? So meditation is one way of arriving through all these steps: focused mind, contemplative mind, creating harmony, creating peace, arriving at happiness. Now, when you ask a question on openness, opening of the heart is always a must. Without it, there is no go. Opening of the heart means listening the others, perceiving the others without any prejudice. Moment you bring in prejudice, suppose I'm listening to you, at the same time I'm processing in my mind how to answer you back and hit you hard, then I'm not listening to you. I would say it is heartful listening. Listen very heartfully, with joy, with patience, with poise. And poise is the product of meditation. Often we don't listen. We say, I'm hearing you, but we don't listen. Number one problem. Number two is already this listening is tainted with a prejudice. And number three is the ego. Though you like the statement, suggestion made by others, and this happens between the bosses, especially bosses who are appointed by the chairman. And these bosses, when some subordinate comes up and says, sir, let's do it this way. And the boss gets angry, even though the subordinate is right. And that creates a lot of problems. So lack of openness, acceptance. So openness and acceptance are also the elements that go together. And this all, I would say, you see, I give you my own example from my business days, business times. Even simple things like what to manufacture. Will this product fly? What is the consequence? What are the legal ramifications? What are the financial ramifications? What are the professional, technological aspect of it? You'll have multiple choices in all these arenas. right? And for that, you have to have a meeting with so many people, but you are the best person to decide on that. Just close your eyes and dissect everything in your head. You'll come to a right conclusion. What to order, what not to order, whom to associate with, whom not to associate with. And the simplest thing is, when you have 10 people meeting you or 10 projects, and when you are meditating and you saw your notes that I have to meet these 10 individuals and 10 things are pending for me. In meditation, you'll be able to filter it. Not this, not this, not this, and you'll come to only what is most important and vital. So you end up selecting what is right, where I should be effectively spending my time with, and where I should, or individuals I should be avoiding. So it filters out. So I would say the solution to many problems is meditation. And Lord Krishna himself says that meditative mind, which is a product of meditation, is in a state of yoga, right? And when you are in a state of yoga, he said, yoga karmashu kausalam. Through such a state of mind, every activity attains perfection. So I highly recommend this yogic approach, spiritual approach to life. See, without spiritual approach to material life, bhautik jivan, our day-to-day affairs in the business world, life will go unsatisfied. You can become very successful in whatsoever you are doing, but if there is no touch of spirituality, there is no fragrance, there is no juice in it, there is no life in it. Once you bring spirituality into equation, for example, in relationship, spirituality means love, right? Whenever you say in my family there is love, with my children there is love, in my work there is love. When you do the work with love, it doesn't trouble you at all. You don't get tired when you love your work. When you don't love your work, it tires you very fast. Your attitude towards the work has to change. Do you love your work? Then something will happen. Something can happen. I give you an example. My Guruji used to say, look at the laborer in the farm. He's cursing his boss and working. When am I going to go home? I don't even get enough money. Why should I be doing this? And they shortcut everything. Look at his body. He's not developing muscles, though he gets enough food from his boss. And look at your son or daughter going to gym with an attitude that I'm going to gym, I'm building my body, I'm becoming fit. If the same attitude the farmer had, that I'm becoming fit by working hard and I'm enjoying this work, then his body will also improve. That's the difference between a good employee and a bad employee, attitude. More than your professional, I would say, knowledge, professional expertise, I prefer that people develop attitude first. And then professionalism can add to it. Then you become better in your acts. Even sleep, I would say, when you go to sleep because you are tired, versus when you are going to sleep with a restive, peaceful mind, where you have made peace with everything that you have done during the day. You settle the score and go to sleep. That sleep changes its nature, and you'll be so fresh when you awaken in the morning. And as soon as you're up, meditate. Carry the meditative mind to your office. Come back home. Iron out all the mental creases or feelings that you have created during the day, and interact with the family. So the whole cycle is fascinating, actually, and the atmosphere of the home will change when you spouse and yourself are meditating together. Imagine the energy field it creates, and the children, when they see you two meditate together, they'll also, the energy vibrations will also rub off on them. See.
Amazing, Daji. I think I started with how to be open and openness and acceptance to be built by leaders and everyone in their life. The mantras that you have provided is very simple, easy to actually practice and work upon, like being open to listening, then suspending our prejudice, suspending our ego, and then work on these things. Very practical suggestions. I'll quickly also come in with the fact that you mentioned sometime back in your opening remarks. Our attitude is something which builds our thoughts, and our thoughts will shape our actions. The example of the laborer in the farm is an example which is applicable to me and everyone else. I mean, if we shape our attitude accordingly with those rich thoughts and therefore rich actions, I'm sure our productivity and the love that we bring in for the work, I think that itself has the potential to change the way we look at the work and therefore affect the output, and we continue to enjoy with our colleagues, and in a context of our home we enjoy with our family members as well. So profound, Daji. I'll quickly request Dr. Anurag Batra to raise his question.
Thank you, Daji. It's my honor and privilege to meet you. And today in Mumbai, we had a festival of spirituality. I did not go for it, but I have benefited from being here for most part. I can say I've been. And, just before I was getting into it, I do yoga these days. I'm calmer than I used to be. I'm first generation entrepreneur, so I have to work very hard and, I love what I do, but sometimes I get irritated with my colleagues. Just before I entered this podcast, I got irritated, and I try and stay calm, but when somebody doesn't take the feedback, not listening, and they're making the same, I get irritated, and I don't like being angry. I don't like being irritated. I have calmed myself to a large extent, but someday I get worked up. Today I got worked up just before I got onto this podcast. And I kind of, because I do yoga, I'm calmer, and I tell myself I have to be calmer because I regret it 99%, if not 100% times getting upset. And I've come down from 10 to 1, but I still, I got irritated. What do I do with this? And that irritation becomes anger, angst, or frustration. And, the energy that sent out is very negative, and I don't like it. Honest answer is I don't like it. And I will control it, but I'd love input from you.
Yes, I will send you one compilation of articles written by many great authors on anger to love. And that was the compilation of talks and articles. And I would mail it to you. Just mail me your address, and I'll definitely share it with you. In short, my take on this, we all tend to become irritated, angry, and it is a natural response. You would say, many yogis, they say that anger is bad. But kama and krodha, according to my Guruji, kama means passion, krodha means anger. And the lesser degree of anger is we call irritation. They are all natural. We cannot destroy them. But we can, the law of energy, that energy cannot be destroyed. Krodha is also an energy, can never be destroyed. But another law says energy can be transformed. Passion, which cannot be destroyed, can be transformed into compassion. If we let this irritation and anger simmer in our heart, that means allowing some time for it to reflect. You buy some time. If you can buy it, I know it's very difficult. Sometimes immediately we lose our fuse and lash out on individual. Don't regret on that. It has happened. Jo ho gaya so ho gaya. Jane do usko. Because whatsoever you didn't have any bad intention behind it. You came out with and lashed out because you wanted to correct the situation. It's a corrective measure. Only thing we can do is don't allow that to hurt your own heart. Don't get angry on someone with full of heart. Heartfully कर लेना है उसको. No, heartfully love करना है. Heartfully anger को मत बरसाओ. Showers of anger with lot of love is not recommended.
Of course, and I don't like it myself. So
it hurts. It hurts. It's like my father used to say that it's like a chingari. जलाते हैं. You can light a lamp, but in processing of lighting a lamp also, it burns itself. Anger, you're trying to burn somebody, but in the process, you also get burnt. It affects us more than the other person. I get angry on my wife so many times, and out of habit, she keeps on laughing as if nothing has happened. But my heart keeps crying, why did I get angry on this poor lady?
Sir, you're a very brave man. You get angry on your wife. I think we should get a bravery out.
Who doesn't? You tell me, who doesn't?
I can tell you that, anyway, I said it in a lighter way, sir, to be taken too seriously.
And I think we easily get angry on our loved ones. And I have a good companion, she just laughs it out, nothing happens. She's like a lotus in a dirty pond, untouched. She is really following Krishna philosophy, perhaps. She has digested it so well. She just laughs it out. But I remain kind of hurt after that for days together, that why did I get upset on her? And it is also natural. And I think such bouts of anger eventually gets reduced more and more and more. And time will come, you also will start laughing at the mistakes done by others. Okay, ho gaya, so ho gaya. Chalo, let's.
No, I've mostly become like that, to be absolutely
Yes,
honest. I have reduced a lot, but I've not got to zero. I want to get to zero.
It's okay. No, sir. Don't. The people will take advantage of you. Pretend that you're angry. But don't let your heart be affected by it. That's what I meant. Remember a beautiful story Ramakrishna Paramahansa was sharing about one saint. He was a famous saint, and then he had a disciple. His disciple became a cobra in his next life. And when the saint was passing through one village, and he saw his disciple in the form of a cobra, poor fellow was bleeding on its hood because the children were hitting him with stones. So the sage asks him, his Guruji asks him, what have you done? What have you become now? How can you let this happen to your head? You are bleeding from all over. So this cobra, the disciple, says, sir, you only taught me non-violence. How can I? He says, of course I taught you non-violence, but you couldn't have hissed and they would have run away. You don't have to bite. You just hiss and you would run away. So we have to pretend.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we are at 7:41, so I want to take your permission. Can we take one or two questions more, sir, with your permission? So nice of you. Thank you. I'll now request Professor Prasad to just listen to me. And this question is actually coming together from me and Professor Prasad to Daji for seeking some clarity and enlightenment in this area. Professor Prasad, we agree and we know that leadership can be lonely at times. It's a journey that can be lonely. Especially one has to take tough decisions. You have handled numerous assignments and large ones at scale, even in TIC5. Did you practice meditation when you were handling, say, about 170 business schools at one go? And the journey was definitely tougher. I just wanted to bring in that aspect and see, did you have any meditational practice at that time? I always found you probably the moments I saw you, I found you quite calm and quite balanced. So the question that Daji can help us is, in such situations, for all of us, for the benefit of all of us, how does meditation help walking this path, both with fairness as well as balance? Yeah, you can chip in, Professor Prasad, and then we can invite Daji to help us.
I think there's no doubt that that is the way, and that we go through these stages in different ways and different forms and different parts of life. It may not be in a particular form, and some of it comes from the past, the upbringing, how we come up, and then we try to develop on it in different ways, and life throws challenges at us when we are at a particular stage, and then you again need to move. You cannot be there. I mean, I'll stop at that. Sir.
What can I share on that, sir? To me, all my life, I mean, you can say even before when I joined this practice, began practice in 1976, even before that, I had a spiritual bent of mind, some sort of craving, some sort of a longing. And if at all I did anything wrong also, that would hurt me so much. Even smaller mistakes would trouble me, and I would try to correct myself. So trying to do perfectly, trying to do task completely as far as possible has been my motto. Because when I reflect back that, and this applies to everyone, that whenever we do half-hearted thing or incomplete thing, or we simply skip things, not attending to it at all, we pay bigger price. Even simple things like, I should say, Mommy, I'm sorry, I hurt you. And I somehow ignore sharing it to my mother, and she passes on. What happens to you? All your life you'll be miserable. I had time to say sorry, I could not say. So incomplete things, things we ignore, things we miss out, they hurt us more. So don't try to postpone things, or don't try to skip things, or even when you do things, do it fully, heartfully. Otherwise, don't try to do it at all. Tell your boss, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Great. Either do it with full attention, full involvement, or don't do it at all.
Don't do it.
Lessons from spirituality. Before I take this last question, Daji, Mr. Subbarao Sannidhi is raising his hand. He's from USA. Before that, there is one simple question from one of the members in the audience. How much of spirituality is connected to religiosity, and probably what could be the difference? And after that, we'll go to Subbarao.
Religion is a good thing. It is better to be religious than non-religious. Religion is all about our beliefs, dogmas that we inherit as habits or culture from our society, especially from our parents. Things like, do you believe in God? These values are inculcated by our parents or grandparents or some relatives. But even when I had a very heartfelt discussion with my father in 1977, after I started practicing this meditation. One evening, we were just sitting in our terrace, and it happened to be my vacation time, and it was evening time, and he was silent, I was silent, and I asked my father, I see you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you are offering prayers, chanting some slokas, and then you take some grains and go to temple and feed the birds and also do your puja there. Then you come back home. In the evening, you do arati. Papa, you tell me one thing, that I can share your most profound experience with your grandchildren. That means my children. At that time, I was not married. But I asked him like this, please tell me something that I can share with my children, the best experience you ever had through these practices you have been doing day in and day out. He was very silent for a long time. I didn't trouble him then. Then he says, I have nothing to share. Then I said, would you like to experience something? Now it's almost a year. And you say, yes, I see you meditate morning and evening. Would you like to experience something? He said, yes. And I took him to a nearby preceptor, the trainers of this system. Those days we didn't have phones, so forget apps. During that first face-to-face sitting or meditation that our trainer was teaching him, after about 15 minutes, he started crying like a baby during the meditation. And then he stopped sobbing and then went into meditation all over again. Then afterward, I asked him, after 2 hours or so, let him be kind of. He said, this was the experience. First time in my life in last 65 years, I have experienced something which religions talk about. They promise. Religion is a promise. Religion is a potential. Spirituality, to me, it's an actualization. What is there as a theory in religion? It is there as a practice or a practicality or an experience in spirituality. Religion is all external. You can worship statues, murtis, temples. Nothing wrong with it. Please don't misunderstand me. At the same time, we say, he's beyond akar, he's nirakar, and yet we form akars. And what sort of akars do we form? In the imaginations, with Shraddha, of course, with a lot of faith, we say, okay, this is Krishna. With a lot of faith, we say, this is Saraswati. It's good. But when we ask fundamental questions, that during Lord Krishna's time, when he was walking on this planet, blessed were those days when he was walking and breathed the air of this planet. How many could recognize his divinity? Did Arjun recognize his divinity until he showed it to him during the war? Vishwarup Darshan. Until then, he was zapped, nothing. He treated him as a friend. You go back to Lord Rama's life. Who could understand his divinity during his lifetime? Except for Hanuman. Who could recognize the divinity of Jesus or Buddha? What was the original form of Krishna? Can you draw a painting of Lord Krishna and say, this is Lord Krishna's painting? So my argument is this: if I could not, or if I cannot have the true vision of Lord Krishna, even when he is physically present in front of me, how will I ever have its true darshan through images made by artists? And when I meditate, for example, and prayerfully say, Lord, I like to experience your presence. And you start imagining the form of Krishna. Which form will you imagine? It's a big challenge. Or, what is divinity after all? Is it Ram? Is it Lakshman? Is it Sita? Is it feminine? Is it male? Is it form? Is it formless? Is it beyond all these things? Is it qualitative? Is it vibrational? Is it energy? If you ask a Shiva Bhakta and you ask him to meditate, first time he will say, oh, Shiva Bhakta, Shivam, 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 Shivam. He'll be busy chanting. When you're busy chanting, how can you experience even when Shiva comes in you? You're too busy. And which form will you imagine? The one that you have seen in photos, not the real one. Though you have Shraddha, but your approach is wrong. So meditation, we have to go beyond the objectivity and go into subjectivity of divinity. Don't make objects out of all this. So we have to have a neutral approach towards divinity. First of all, I have to be prayerful, reverential, and say, my Lord, I don't even know if you are there. That is spirituality. And if you are there, please help me experience the way you want to experience, not because I want to see him as Lord Jesus, or I want to see him as Mother Kali, or I want to see him as Mother Saraswati. No, I don't have any conditions. I surrender. That's why Lord Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Just you do your part. Forget about the results, how you will see, what you will see. But people wrongly apply it. You see, when you're making money, for example, and you're starting a business, people will say, oh, you're not a Krishna Bhakta. You're first planning the fruits of your action. Aren't you all planning so much of budget for so much of balance at the end? Is it not against Krishna philosophy? But that is a wrong understanding. Lord Krishna was not such a foolish person to advocate such a principle. It only means there was a different meaning to karma. Karma and shrama were two beautiful words, absolutely misunderstood. Shrama is all about work related to this world. For example, if I had to go to Bombay is fruit of my action. I had to travel. And in order to travel, I had to earn money. So I had to first make money and then think of buying a ticket to go to Mumbai. Same thing is in the industry. I had to work according to the results that I am seeking. Those days during Lord Krishna's time, karma had a different meaning. It means anything that we do for Brahma Vidya, for the ultimate realization, was in the category of karma. Whatsoever we did for that, I cannot demand God that I have to have this, I have to have your darshan. No, he is not your slave, he is not your servant. You have to surrender. Leave that to him. When it comes to spirituality, it's all about experience. Religion is all dogmas, belief system. Knowledge is good, that there is God. But knowledge can become stronger once we have the experience. You know, when we talk of money, dollar versus rupees, currency valuations. The currency gets stronger based upon the resources the country has. Earlier, it was gold backing, right? Now, there are many factors that influence the currency value. So, the currency is strengthened by the backing, and so is our knowledge strengthened by the experience. And then further also is there, what is beyond spirituality? If you may ask the question, then you'll wonder, oh, religion is one thing, is knowledge. Spirituality is experience. Is it enough that I experience divinity once? No. It's like, Sudhakarji, you are invited by a very wealthy friend of yours on a private island, and you spend a whole year there, enjoying your life there. What goes through your mind at that time? I wish I was also as rich. It's such a beautiful experience I'm having here. Right? Now, when you put that perspective into its spirituality, we say, oh, wow, this is a beautiful experience. Divine experience is great. But I wish I was divine myself. Experiences arising out of richness, of the wealth is one thing, but to become wealthy is another. Divine experiences is one thing, to become divine is another. And that's when we have the experience of Sat Chit Anand. But then there is a effect of consciousness, effect of mind there. See, you're enjoying. But the idea is to go beyond the mind, beyond the bliss. So the whole equation changes. Now we transcend the religion. We don't abandon the religion. But it is strengthened. My belief is strengthened by my experience. My experience is strengthened by my becoming. And then my becoming is strengthened by when I renunciate even my becoming. When I renunciate even the bliss. Otherwise, what is there to renunciate? Any foolish fellow can renunciate the misery. It's easy to get out of it. Everybody craves to get out of misery, but who craves to get out of bliss? I think let's keep it simple now. This is enough. I can go on and on with differentiating religion and spirituality, but on the lighter note, I share again about my father's foolishness, which I'm sure a lot of us are also in the same category. I love my father. After he started practicing meditation, he never looked back. And I could see he's soaring heights in the spiritual realm. During his lifetime, I could see how he was making gigantic steps. Now, before that, from my childhood, every Shravan Mahina, Shravan, you understand Shravan Mahina, no? Okay. He would invite a Pandit, Brahmin. My respects to all the Brahmins who are listening. I have no criticism, but this is on my father. That he would invite them and request them to pray for his long life. And he used to request them to do Mahamrutyunjay Japam. And those Pandits used to have those 1 lakh Shivlingam made from mud. And they would do that in a Shiva temple of my village. And they would, sometimes he would get 2 or 3 Pandits also. And they all would stay at our home. Right? So I used to question my father, how can you have someone pray on your behalf? It's like surrogacy, surrogate prayers, surrogated pregnancy. You ask someone to get pregnant for your wife, something like that. Or something like that happened. Well, anyway, that is Mahabharata story, but this surrogating our puja, surrogating our worship of gods in the hands of others, and you think you'll go to heaven, and you think your life will be extended? That is religion. Religion means you are surrogating what you are supposed to do in the hands of someone else. When you go for marriage, the mantras they recite, how many couples understand those mantras? He may be reciting Smashan Bhumi mantras, and you would not understand also. And actually, that's a mockery of today's rituals. So one young fellow was asking, he was also very fanatic about religion. He says, our religion is great, I have to do this. How long, I say, will you keep on doing this and ask somebody else to do it for your behalf just because you are so rich? You can afford to have so many people to offer puja for you. Sometimes they invite 20 or 21 or 7 or 9 pandit to offer the puja. So I told him, after your marriage, my dear friend, would you send your wife with somebody else on honeymoon? Is your relation with God any lesser than your relation with wife? Then he became very quiet, and then he never came back again. And I hope all the listeners, please don't give up on me. I'm just trying to make it exaggerated argument to prove a point that our relationship with God is personal, individual, and we cannot hire anyone and say, I will benefit because somebody is doing it. That person may benefit, but not you. Never.
Amazing, sir. Gandhi, thank you so much for elaborating it for us and making it simple. The distinctions between religion and spirituality and how it converges at neutrality over a period of time. Amazing, amazing. I would not waste even one more second. This is something which we have asked for, and little did we realize that this cannot be done in one session. I'm sure we will come back to you and ask for your time. Maybe we'll request you to visit our campus whenever it's possible.
No. I wish you come here.
I will definitely come.
All of you come here. You see, we have a world-class campus. We have corporate people coming here, CEO, chairman, IAS people. And this Sunday, Modi ji is coming to meditate with us.
Yeah.
So I wish, and you will say, I don't want to go away from this place. I assure you of that. Yes, but make sure you are here for 3 days.
Okay.
Okay. You can bring all your friends, we can have one seminar actually exclusively for you. I will arrange a lot of speakers on this subject better than myself. And they'll illuminate in a very, very, very fascinating way.
Amazing. We'll definitely do that, Daji. Like religion, I promised Mr. Subbarao Sannidhi. Now, like spirituality, we have given the experience of asking that question to you. May I violate my statement? Can I invite Subbarao Garu? Quickly, can you finish?
Namaste, Daji.
Namaste,
So
sir.
nice to see you and hear you
Thank you,
after
sir.
a long time.
Thank
And
you,
my question is, I'm 70 now, but still getting involved with a multi-billion-dollar project. How would that affect my spiritual growth? And could I balance both?
If you have the ability of making million, make billion. Make it wisely, make it spiritually. Spirituality is not at crossroads. It's not against material world. And material world cannot be against the spiritual world. It's up to us. Shrama can also become bhakti based on our attitude. When you dedicate your shrama, when you dedicate your work, your profits in the divine service, then whatsoever you do will become divine in action, even if it is making money. It is not a dirty thing, sir. If all saintly people stop making money, you are leaving it in the hands of bad ones, isn't it?
Yes.
And when the money is or the power is in the bad hands, you can imagine the society then. So, Subbarao Garu, you can make a lot of money and share with us.
Absolutely, Daji.
So
that will be my final goal.
final goal? No. That is your small and temporary goal. Your final goal is being with the Lord.
Yes, absolutely. And like the same offer, I will take the same offer like what you have given Sudhakar Garu to come and stay with you. And
Yes. Definitely come with the family and please make a plan and we'll work together.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you for listening and please
Thank
come.
you. Thank you, Daji, for this wonderful experience of a masterclass that you have provided on meditation to start with. But in a larger way, the way we take it away from here is about cleansing our thoughts, trying to be having an experience that can be shared by many others. It cannot get more practical than this. The many texts that we study can always has the potential to throw us into a maze, but listening to you has actually unlayered it, made it very simple, and that it is attainable and achievable with some kind of focus and clarity in thought. I'm sure we will definitely stand to gain when we come to you and probably take up that offer of having a seminar with all our students, with all the interested parties that we have. We would definitely take that offer up, sir. I'm sure we will benefit. And all the other members who have joined on their behalf also, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this amazing time that you have spent with us and transported us into a different world, a world of knowing ourselves a little more, a world of understanding meditation a little more. I'm sure there's a lot more to go, but this is invitation enough for us to walk into Kanha Shantivanam and also into the world of heartfulness meditation. Thanks a lot. Pranam.
Thank you, Prasad ji also, and thank you, everyone. Thank you. Pranam.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on December 1st with yet another leader. We are going to talk about how we can build businesses, how we can work on growth, and how we can extend strength from an individual to an organization and work on growth. So December 1st, Friday, 6:30 p.m. We'll see you again with Mr. Anil, and he will be talking to you about this growth and the perspectives of growing businesses and what are the things that we need to build ourselves in terms of personal development as well as organizational development and how we need to converge that for this everlasting growth. See you on December 1st. Till then, take good care and read more about Kanha Shantivanam and the Heartfulness Meditation. There's a lot available on web, and I'm sure much more than the web. We need to enter into this wonderful institute that has been built within Hyderabad. And for whoever it is possible, kindly make a visit and learn and experience the power of meditation, and thereby building ourselves in a very, very practical way of becoming a leader in our own domain. I'm very, very happy that 128th leadership conversation has redefined what is wisdom and how wise views can be as practical as it, until we've heard from Daji in his own words about spirituality. Spirituality looks like much more practical than what it was before. Thank you.